like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in
Indiana's monument. I think some of these states may have put a monument at each location that they had a unit. Now we're now entering the Union lines right here. Wisconsin monument. Fighting down through that gully there. Blue markers down in here. This is the Union lines. This is Hovey's Approach. You can see blue markers on the side of the hill there. Red markers up at the top at the fort right there. That dirt area right there was a fort. That was Fort Garrett is what that was. Right there. That was Fort Garrett. We just came from over there. Entered Union lines somewhere right around there. There's a second battery. Kentucky monument's back up over there, so I guess we'll walk up in there and check it out. Okay. Kentucky monument's back up in there. Second battery, 12th Division, 13th Corps, Ohio. And you can see we're in the Union area here, but straight across this gully here, you can see the Texas monument right there. That's where the Texas brigades would have been, or Texas folks. So, a little bit better perspective here, folks. Down here in this little valley here, this wash, you can see the blue signs right there. Those would have been Union forces. And right there on that hill, that was Fort Garrett. You can see the red signs up there. So you can see a blue sign right there to the left, right there to the left of the fort. That's a blue sign. So you can see how close they were actually fighting. Here is the Kentucky soldiers from border state Kentucky fought on both sides during the Vicksburg campaigns. They served in the units listed here. The people of the Commonwealth of Kentucky salute all the soldiers from our state. It says, Commonwealth of Kentucky, united we stand, divided we fall. There's Black's Approach, right there. As you can see, the fort is right there, along with another position right here. So you can see all the little blue signs out through here. So they were right in amongst each other, folks. Here is the Iowa Monument. That's where we're headed, folks, but we got a little ways to get there. You can see the road over that away. And we are going up this way. This would have been all Union forces over here. Battery de Gaulier. This is actually site number 1 on the tour map. Another Ohio marker. Third Battery of the Ohio, Captain William S. Williams, 3rd Division, 17th Corps. We'll see if we can't find us a place to park in here. Not sure if I can park there or not, but I'm going to. We'll park right here. Okay. Okay, so this is Illinois' monument to her troops. She went all out here. Hot dog. Let's take a walk up these tortuous stairs and see what Illinois had to say. Okay, here is the inside. Man. Abraham Lincoln, Ulysses S. Grant, Major General John Logan, Commander 3rd Division, 17th Corps, Colonel John M. Loomis, 1st Brigade, 1st Division, 16th Corps. I know you can't see them because I'm having a hard time. All these bronze plaques here, staff, cavalry, 5th Infantry. They got the names of everybody. Those are all names. So if you thought you had somebody fighting in Vicksburg, their names are probably on this wall because it goes all the way around. What is this one here? They need to clean this one up. Yeah, it's I guess a saying from somewhere 1906. Someone put that up there. Coming out of here, you're looking over a lot of the battlefield there. So, shall we take a walk over to the house over there and see what there is to see? How about that? We'll take a walk instead of drive. I'll bring y'all back when we get there. Folks, this memorial that Illinois put up to its soldiers in 1906 cost over $190,000 to build. All right. Today, that would have been more than 4.6 million. Probably a little more than that now because I'm reading it off the sign here. That was put up, what, 65, 75, 85, 95, 05, about 40 years after the Civil War ended. Standing guard at Jackson Road. The 3rd Louisiana Redan, Cookskins Tower, and the Shirley House. We're going to there. Jackson Road. This is the main battlefield here. So we will stop by the USS Cairo Museum. We still got a ways to go, folks. Restoring the names of enslaved persons. Yeah, now these are the people, these are the slaves that would have been working in this house prior to and during the Civil War. The known ones, okay, these are the ones that were known. And these over here are the names of enslaved people who were sold by the Shirley family to fund the purchase of this land, Wexford Lodge. So, digging in at the Shirley house. June 1863, the hillside to your right had been completely transformed into a vast network of dugouts known as shebangs. These makeshift shelters protected Union soldiers from the oppressive summer heat and the threat of nearby Confederate guns. When the siege ended, the Shirley house stood badly damaged and abandoned. It served the Union Army as a smallpox quarantine hospital. It was bought by the U.S. government in 1900. Now restored to its pre-war appearance, this stately house is the only remaining wartime building inside the military park. And you can see what it looked like down here. Although they owned 25 enslaved workers, James Shirley and his wife Adeline were Union sympathizers. Their teenage son Quincy joined the Union troops at his doorstep in fighting the Confederates. So, there you go. All right. Union position tablet. John E. Smith's Brigade Assault, May 22nd, 1863. And y'all can pause it and read it. I hope you do. Andrew Hickenloper, Captain, 5th Ohio Battery, Chief Engineer, 17th Army Corps. There he is. Blue sign up there is about Logan's approach. Blasting their way. Yeah, so this fort here, down here and here, is this area right up through here and here. So you see the cannons up there. This was Logan's approach coming up here. He would have came up through here facing these cannons. And you can see the red markers there facing this way. Actually, those look like guns. So, Affair of the Crater, Union position tablet, right there. Got a gun there. And a gun there. I'm going to say them guns because it looks like there's rifling in the barrels. The road down there. Confederate State, Missouri, supporting 3rd Louisiana 6th Infantry. 3 killed, 35 wounded. Lieutenant Colonel Pembroke and Centeny killed. This is the Confederate position tablet for the 3rd Louisiana Redan on left of Jackson Road. Jackson Road is that road we just came up. I think it might be that one down there, if y'all can see that way over there. So, another cannon over there, or rifle. This is Confederate State Appeal, Arkansas Battery, Maury Forney's Division, Army of Vicksburg, Captain William N. Hogg, Lieutenant Christopher Scott, Lieutenant Robert N. Cotton. Yep. Captain William Hogg and Lieutenant Walker killed. Lieutenant Christopher C. Scott wounded on duty in this position. You gotta duck, folks. You gotta duck. And folks, this is Wisconsin's monument to her soldiers that fought here. Pretty nice. Yeah, folks, you can see plenty more monuments over there, but we can't get over there because there's been a lot of damage to a road over there, so they ain't got it fixed yet, so we had to take a detour route, which is out here in front of us. Okay, folks, we have a Confederate position tablet, small work on left of Shoup's brigade. We just came down this road here, and it's all Confederate line right through there, right through down through there. This work and the lines immediately to the right and left of it were held May 22nd, 1863. And here we go. And the assault of the Union force repulsed by the 26th Louisiana. 31st Louisiana on the right of Baldwin's brigade assisted in repulsing the assault. A rough stockade in front of this work was begun June 9th and finished the night of June 11th. A trench immediately in rear of the stockade was completed June 15th. A countermine against the Union approach was prepared from the trench, but not fired. Casualties in 26th Louisiana during the defense: killed 28, wounded 44, total 72. Major W.W. Martin, Captain Felix G. Winder, and Lieutenants Numa Arrow and P.N. Tournier killed. Okay. You notice they only tell you about the officers that were killed, not the important people. Down there with that truck, you see that truck? Those are Confederate lines, Union lines down there. However, that's where they started from. They came up, and you see right here in front of me are blue markers. Here we have the U.S. Missouri 12th Infantry assault, May 22nd, 1863, killed 26, wounded 82, total of 108. Major Gustavus Lightfoot, Captain Christian Andel, and Lieutenants Chas L. Kastner and Geo Eggert killed. Watching the approach. That is Major William Martin. He was killed here. And you see there's another stone marker. Right there. Had to find it. Right there. There is no trail going to it, so I'm not going down there to read what it says. Okay, folks, we got, looks like another little fort or something like that. We're going to check out. There's a cannon and possibly a gun. I believe this overlooks the river. That's what it looks like. Yep. There we go. Now that ain't a view. Got barges and everywhere. Looks like a cannon way down yonder. Is that the cannon, folks? Yep. Right down there by the road. Probably an entrance to the park. Let's go see what these signs have to say. Johnston's Company, Tennessee Heavy Artillery, River Batteries, Army of Vicksburg, Captain T.N. Johnston. A detachment of the company served one 3-inch rifle in this position, Fort Hill, from May 19th to the end of the defense, July 4th, 1863. So that's the gun right there. You can see the rifling in the barrel. And here we have 14th Mississippi Light Artillery Battalion, Smith's Division, Army of Vicksburg, Captain J.H. Yates. The second section of the company under Lieutenant W.J. Shelton served 2 6-pounder guns and 1 24-pounder siege gun. In this position, Fort Hill, from the morning of May 19th to about June 12th, when the siege gun was disabled by having a trunnion cracked nearly off. It was then loaded with grape and remained in this position, ready to be fired in case of an assault. The 2 6-pounder guns were served to the end of the defense, July 4th, 1863. Reported casualties in battalion during the defense, wounded 3. So, man. Folks, this is the Vicksburg National Cemetery. But that's not why we stopped here. We're going to go visit an old boat called the USS Cairo. And check it out and see how interesting it is. That is it underneath the tent up there. So at least they got some shade on it. And I'll explain more about it as I learn more about it. So we'll see you later. Okay folks, so you can see here down at the bottom, that is probably original right there. And the top, I'm guessing, has been redone. So let's get up there and take a look at it. There you go, got 3 big cannons sticking out the front of it. Seven ironclads in 100 days. I'll leave that there. Y'all can pause it and read it. But y'all can see where the old wood had started rotting away. Down there. Man. That thing sat low in the water, torpedoed and sunk. So right here, you can see where the hull ends here to here. It hit a mine in the river. Sank in 36 feet of water. No lives were lost and the crew was recovered by nearby vessels. What sank the USS Cairo? Some historians believe Confederates laying in wait along the riverbank detonated the mines called torpedoes in the Civil War electrically. Other experts think the underwater mines were strung on a line across the channel. When the Cairo hit the line, her forward motion pulled the torpedoes against the side of the boat where they detonated. Okay. So, Mississippi River, Vicksburg, come up through here, here to here, and that's where she sunk. Interesting. Lots of cannon. A crew of immigrants. So immigrants from France, Danish, Russian, German, and accents from Iceland, England, and Ireland, England, and Caribbean. Nearly half the boat sailors were immigrants. Pilot house. Look up, that circle of sloping iron plates overhead. Right there. Those are iron plates. Shielded the Cairo's pilot house from this exposed perch atop the upper deck. The pilot steered the gunboat and the officer on duty kept a watchful eye on the river. Orders to the engine room. to change speed were sent using a signal board or by shouting through a speaker tube. A ton an hour. Okay. We're not going to walk around the other side. Let's go into the museum where maybe they've got some AC going. I'll bring y'all back in a bit. Folks, I just learned something. And you look out through here at this National Cemetery here at Vicksburg, you'll see headstones out there, and then you see the little square blocks. All those square blocks are people that are buried and unknown. So that's what I was just reading here. The remains of nearly 300,000 men were eventually reburied in national cemeteries. Many have been never been identified. Their graves marked by simple squares. So, not all of them are in the tomb of the unknown soldier at Arlington. We have many out here unknown. Okay, folks, I figured we'd stop on the way out of town at Pemberton headquarters. This is the Willis Cowan House. It was built somewhere around 1835. Military headquarters of Lieutenant General John C. Pemberton, who commanded the Confederate forces during the siege of Vicksburg. Here on July 3rd, 1863, the decision was made to surrender the city. Same thing here. This is the house right here. Pemberton's headquarters. It's all boarded up. I don't know. Got a lock across here. Used to be $13 to turret. That used to be Sisters of Mercy. Convent and school encompassed the whole city block. It is now the Southern Cultural Heritage Center. It stands as a legacy and testament to their dedication of helping others. And many of the sisters that used to be here are buried at Cedar Hill Cemetery. And which is one of the oldest and largest cemeteries in the country. The Soldiers' Rest section is the final resting place for over 5,000 Confederate soldiers who served in the Civil War. So, but that's that building there. Now back to Pemberton. Debate and decision from his headquarters in this grand mansion, Confederate General Pemberton followed the movement of enemy troops. During the siege, he watched his men suffering from lack of food and the relentless Union bombardment. After nearly 7 weeks, he gathered his commanders together. Did they have the will to keep fighting? Debating late into the night of July 2nd, 1863, Pemberton made the difficult decision to surrender. At 10 a.m. tomorrow, I propose to evacuate the works in and around Vicksburg and to surrender the city and the garrison under my command by marching out with my colors and arms, stacking them in front of my present lines, after which you will take possession. Yeah. Okay, so some nice old houses up in here, but let's head back to the truck.